Hey guys, Anthony here from XXRC Garage, and well, this what you see in front of you will look like a TRX4 Bronco. Well, it is a TRX4, but originally it was not a Bronco, and I'll tell you why. Originally it was a Defender that somebody else owned, and then they decided to turn it into something else. And anyway, when I ended up getting it, I got it. It was just a chassis. There was no body, no wheels, no tires. It was just a slider. And I had this project I wanted to do. I was going to do a hard body with a one of those Chinese Jeep bodies, a JKU body, and I was going to do all that. Well, what ended up happening was because the body was so awkward, I had to end up cutting the back of the chassis. So I basically ended up cutting like that much off the back, and so I did that. Well, before I got this, there was also up here welded, literally the guy welded a bracket for a winch back in here, and I don't know, somehow or another this thing ended up warped is all I can think of. And so when I was trying to put this body on here, I bought the fenders. I even bought the side trays again and put them on their new ones because the other ones were all hacked up with a new weatherproof box. But every time I would go to put the body on, it just didn't line up. It wouldn't click correctly like the back. So I'm thinking the chassis was bent. So what I'm doing today is I'm changing the chassis rails. But I'm going to do it the lazy man way. What I mean by that is I'm just going to unbolt one side at a time and replace the chassis rail. Boom. I'll bolt it all back together, spin it around, do the same thing again. I'm hoping that's going to work. At least I'm going to try. A few of the links are going to come undone, I know. It is just what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end up loosening these cross members here and back here to separate everything. And then I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to remove this, put this out of the way, and then I'm going to undo the fenders, leave the shocks hooked up and everything, and see if I can undo all the screws. I'm gonna try this. I mean, it might not work, but we'll see. Let's see what happens. You know, like, could be that the lazy man way is just gonna backfire on me. So let's see what happens. So I'm gonna need my 2.0 and my 2.5 millimeter. Yeah, so what I gotta do is I do have to remove the bumpers, front and back. Bumpers gotta be removed. And then of course I'll be doing the side. So I'm gonna start off with the 2.5. And the reason I'm doing that is because I also have to loosen up the front cross member. And I'm gonna tell you, I was going crazy trying to get this to work. I thought maybe, originally when the winch was up here at the front, I had hacked this piece up trying to get it to work, and it wasn't working. And so what I ended up doing is I had to remove, you know, I hacked it up, and which I wish I had done that, what I did. And so I'm just gonna take these off, and the front bumper, I got 2.5 hex head bolts for the front bumper. And let's see, I think I dropped one here. Let's see where you find it. There you are. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the wheel. And off the bumper. Yeah, this poor truck had been through the mill. And when I say all the mill, I mean the mill. There's one video when it had a blue body on it. I was driving it up a tree. And it was way up the tree. A good 25, 30 feet up. And I was trying to back down slowly, and I drove it off the tree. And Could be why the chassis is bent. Who the heck knows? So I'm going to do this. I mean, yeah, I know everybody's like, oh, you know, you could part it out. You could do a lot of the stuff. I'm not doing all that. What I'm going to do, and this is a project. I told my little boy that he could have a Bronco, and so I took this old Defender body, and I had the Bronco body because I had 2 yellow ones, and I decided I wanted a red one, so I got a red body to replace the one that this was going to go on. And now, so I went ahead and bought the fenders, and of course, the fenders were, do we have a bolt on back here? I don't even have a bolt on the back of this thing. Or is there? Oh, I don't think I put a bolt on this side. Let's see what's on the other side. Oh yeah, there's a, I mean, I see a bolt. I see a screw. So, come on, it'll be a pain in my butt. Okay, so I put the camera up high. I did have to remove this so I could do the cut here. So now, this is just going to be loose like this. Then I'm going to take these screws out here. And there. And of course, we got to go underneath here and take them out loose. Take them loose too. And what I'm doing now is just removing this plate for now. Oh, there's one more. So let me, all right, one at the front. And you also got to catch these little gizmos here. Sometimes they hold stuff. All right, so this is taken loose. All right, now this real long one just came out, holds this link on, one of these links in, this upper link in place. So it's going to eventually fall out, and you got to line those back up. All right, so now we're going to go back here, remove that. Let me do some shifting around here. Put that tool over there out of the way. Okay. And toot. So we got this one, and then we got the front to do. Let me do the front first. All right, and I need to take this loose here. All right, that cross members out. Now this does have the pan hard, so you gotta be careful. So we should have every screw out of here, except for this one here. And so let's see what happens real quick. This thing is gritty. Okay. So my calculations are correct. Should be able to remove this. Did I get all the screws out? Yep. So there's that chassis. And you can see the difference here. How much was cut off of that one. Probably about a couple inches off the front and back. So now we're going to replace it with this. The fun part's going to be lining up everything. Get everything lined up at one time. Ooh, I got it. All right. Now there's a few spots here that just bolt up. And I believe it's this one right here. And then of course in the front, here. I want to say it's this one here, but if it isn't, I can always take it back out. There she is. All right. So this has got to go back up in the front. Now, get this back lined up. And of course, I had to put the screw in the wrong spot. Yeah, I had a feeling, I wasn't sure. Okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I'll get it back up there. Okay. Dang. As it happens when you're taking a shortcut, I guess. All right. Okay. So let's get the back fender on, and then we'll worry about the links. This one on here like such. Oh yeah, let's see. I believe it was right here. And oh, did I forget something? Oh no, I guess Guess it didn't. All right, so that's half the chassis on there. I just got to put these back on to hold the fenders. And I got to get this back here in this link back in spot, in place. And gotta love it. Let's see if I'm a lucky guy or not. Not a lucky guy. Take this piece out of here. All right. Wow. Guess I got lucky on that one. All right. So I have the chassis on here. Now move stuff around. So this part here is going to go back in here in the chassis. And I can't get it in there. Maybe I should have put that in before I think I tighten this thing up. I can make the plastic move a little bit. Oh, there she is. Back in place. I'll push this back up here. I'll take this. We'll go back in place. Like that. And that makes sure we line up the hole correctly. And if it didn't, loosen that fender up again. Okay. Oh boy. Almost lost that part. There we go. I'm going to slide this back down here a little bit. Okay. Now we got one for the front. Got to put back in. It's going to be foaming as well. Oh, I already have my screw already in the fender. Oh, man. You guys can even see that or not. Of course, I knocked the plastic piece out. I think I got one more screw's got to go right here. And this side should be done. So you guys kind of got the gist of what I'm doing here. Look how much shorter that chassis is from here to here. It's unreal. Look at that. All right. Side's done. Time to do this side. All right. I'm probably going to do a little bit off camera because you pretty much got the idea of what I'm doing here. All right, guys. So the one thing I haven't done is put any of these cross members in yet. And I'm going to go ahead and do that now, so I can be done with that part of it. I'm going to have to get another piece like this and put it in here. I don't know. Maybe it'll be okay just like this. I don't know yet. We'll see. But anyway, I got both sides of the chassis on. There's the old chassis. And I'm going to tell you right now, somehow or another this was twisted or bent. And I don't know where it was twisted or bent at, but it was definitely twisted and bent. I'm going to show you why, what I mean. Talking too much, I forgot which one I had. So I'm gonna put all this back together real quick. And then I'm going to show you something that's remarkable. To me it is anyway, because even looking at that chassis over there, it doesn't seem like it's bent. I mean, it's naturally gonna have movement and so forth, but the problem is there was definitely a bend somewhere in there. It was bent. And okay, turn this out here so I can bolt up the front bumper back. I'm only going to use one on each side for now, because the way they just fits, it ain't going anywhere. Okay. Well, here's what I wanted to show you guys. And the reason I wanted to put the bumper on is to get, so you can get an idea. Now, before, when I used to put this body on here, it wouldn't go on. Like, the back would click. And you can see that's locked in. But the front, this side here, would never lock. And now it's bolted on correctly. Release. Locks back on. Somehow or another, this was twisted. So I know you guys will probably be like, oh, you know, could have went out and bought a new truck. Not really, because I've had this truck already. And I mean, everything that's old on here, technically, is going to be skid plate, motor, ESC, axles. Everything that's new is going to be the chassis and all the plastic fenders and stuff like that. And it's still a good running truck, so that's why I didn't want to part it out and get rid of it and go buy another one. I was like, you know what, I can make this work. And so therefore I did. And I'm ecstatically happy that this works out. Now, one thing I'm probably going to end up doing to this truck here eventually is, wow, just like a brand new truck. Bolts up now. The one thing I will probably end up doing, because I did modify this rear bumper and I cut off the extra lip, I'm probably going to get 2 more of these bumpers for here. And the only reason I'm doing that is just because I did hack this one, and then this one here is missing the winch holder. Unless I come up with a way to put an internal winch in there, which I could do that, make this a little different. But so yeah, because you're gonna see what I did here in the rear bumper. Maybe just I'll have to hold it up in the air and show you. Oh. Yeah, have a look. Yeah, this goes way up inside, so let me undo the body real quick. Put that over here. So this is going to fit in here again. Like I said, I did trim some of this off, so it's not going to fit like a stock one, but it'll be enough. And I'm going to put this bumper screws in, and I'll put the cross members back in too. I'm totally happy, because I mean, I was a little bit aggravated for a while that nothing was bolting up to this, and now the chassis is perfect, fenders, everything's brand new, the middle part still old. Now this one here only has a 2-speed transmission. We don't have lock and lockout diffs. I did away with that, so these are automatically still locked. So it's kind of like a sport with a 2-speed. And so there. Now let's get the bumper or the body on here real quick. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, you can see how I over trimmed it. This used to go match in here with here. So I'll probably end up redoing that, replacing it. The rear bumper, front bumper. I am so excited this truck is ready and to go. I mean, I am just ecstatic, because like I said, this was my nightmare. So what happened was, the guy who used to own this, the kid that owned it, I should say, this gentleman welded a bracket on here, right up in here. And I took my dribble and I had grounded it off and painted it to see if I could, thinking that was the problem. And it wasn't the problem. And somehow or another, this thing was completely out of whack. Now, like I said, I did drop it off a tree one time, so who the heck knows where the bend is. But I will tell you, this was the problem all along. And now this truck is doable for some crawling. My little boy's gonna be ecstatic, because he's been wanting this thing to be back on the road for such a long time, and I just told him to be patient. I'm gonna get it there. Just had to get the chassis after I got everything else. So yeah, this is it. So she's done. So anyway, I'll take some photos of this once it's finished, and so you guys can see it. But just want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, have fun with RCs.